What will happen to Sabine Wren after Star Wars Rebels Season 4? Sabine is a character I've really come to enjoy, and I realized the other day that it's been far too long since I've given her a video of her own. So with the help of my theory crafting commenters, I have some great ideas to share about just how Sabine might end up in Star Wars Rebels Season 4. So first up, we have commenter and longtime supporter of the channel, Levi. He states, I believe her arc ends with Ezra. I think that one of the only questions about Sabine's arc is whether or not she loves Ezra. I think her arc will end with a definitive yes or no. And personally, Levi, I really hope we get a definitive yes or no, and I know a lot of Star Wars Rebels community members want that too. Some of my most popular videos are those I've done on Ezra and Sabine's possible relationship development. Unfortunately, I don't think we will get an answer by the end of Season 4, but let's hope I'm wrong and Filoni tells us one way or the other. Another great commenter here is JJ, who helps run the Force Within TV Facebook page. He suggests, I think Sabine, Hera, and Zeb will use the Imperial complex to run from the planet and take what they can from the planet Lothal, including the people. We know Thrawn will attack the city, so they may try and find a new home for the people, and Sabine may try and help rebuild that new community of Lothal. I love this theory crafting, JJ. I thought about how Ezra and Sabine will work together to rebuild the Lothal community, but I thought that would actually be on Lothal itself. I like the idea of you thinking of them going somewhere else off of the planet. The only problem I have with this theory is how exactly will this work? Surely the Imperials will just blast that Imperial complex out of the sky, and surely it doesn't have a hyperdrive. So as much as I like the idea, I'm just not sure how they're going to pull it off. Up next, commenter JBJ suggests the final episode is called Reunions and Farewells. What could happen is that everybody comes back to help save Lothal, and then afterwards everyone will go on their separate ways, just as the name of the episode suggests. Another great comment. Thank you, JBJ. Obviously, in this scenario, Sabine would go back to her home planet of Mandalore. But moving on here, we have another commenter that weighs in on Sabine after Star Wars Rebels Season 4, and it's Big Kenobi Al. He suggests that I can assume that she survives, but not exactly the way all of us want. I say this because it will probably be a sad ending as Ezra is going down a darker path as the show progresses, and since we are coming to the end, his fate will be sealed by the will of the Force and Palpatine by the end of the show. The outcome will make Sabine disappointed and sad, making her return to Mandalore in hopes of at least saving and rebuilding her home planet. As always, Big Kenobi Al, great ideas. Definitely something I've explored a lot in videos is Sabine going back to Mandalore. One of my favorite ideas was that Sabine and Ezra would go back to Mandalore, and Ezra would become this undercover Mandalorian Jedi, sort of hiding himself from the others, Sabine giving him Mandalorian armor. But let's move on here to Medieval Man 9. He actually disagrees with the idea, suggesting in the comments that I don't think she will end up going back to Mandalore. She is a very polarizing figure amongst the clans. Half of them consider her a traitor, thanks to her work on behalf of the Empire to develop the weapon designed to kill anyone in Mandalorian armor. And even those clans who are accepting of her remorse would begin to wonder if she returned to usurp Bo-Katan's position. Besides that, I don't think she's come anywhere near to relieving herself of the guilt she feels because of the weapon, so going back to Mandalore would be the last thing she would want to do. Absolutely. I think that's a very interesting insight to Sabine's world. We know she has a lot of guilt for what she did on Mandalore, designing that weapon for the Empire, and she probably isn't going to go back to Mandalore. She didn't stay there in the first place. She rejoined her space family, Hera, Kanan, and the other rebels. But moving on here, Medieval Man also suggests I think the only explanation that makes any sense is she goes off with Ezra to wherever he goes. After all, in the first trailer for the season, Hera mentioned the two as a boy who was lost and a girl who was broken. What better way for both of them to heal and grow strong again? Perhaps even grow closer. Great reference in theory crafting there, Medieval Man 9. I like how you brought it back all the way to the first trailer of this season. Makes a lot of sense that those two come together. So many in the fandom would like to see that. And who knows, maybe they are headed for the unknown regions and we'll see them in episode 9 at some point. But hey, Star Wars fans, I'm Mike, and you've been watching Force Within TV, where your theories matter. So before you go, please consider sharing your thoughts and theories on the question of the day. What you share might just end up in one of my community videos like this one. And today the question is, what do you think is going to happen in episode 11, Doom? D-U-M-E, as in Caleb Doom, sorry. Let me know in the comments below, and remember, my fellow theory crafting Jedi, use the Force within you to make the Star Wars community a better place. Share your theories and encourage those who do the same. May the Force be with you.